Hello guys, and welcome to 251 Lines lesson part 2. Part 1 was about major 251s. Part 2, this lesson is about minor 251s. Before we go on to our lesson, I would strongly recommend to watch part 1 first, because we're gonna go through some lines, but in part 1 I explained how to practice the lines after you've learned them. So learning a line is like half the job. There are a few things that you can do after you learn the line in order to practice it, which will eventually help you master the line. Now, let's go on to line number 1. It's by the well-known guitarist Kenny Barrell in the tune Midnight Blue. As you might have noticed, this is a 251 line in F minor, so G minor 7 flat 5 to C dominant altered to F minor. Next line is again by a very famous jazz guitarist, Grant Green, on the tune Stella by Starlight. It's going to be over a 251 progression to C minor. This line is not actually going to a C minor, it's going to a C altered, but it can have exactly the same role. So it starts with a bar of C minor, and it goes to the 2 chord, the D minor 7 flat 5, then to the G altered, then to the C altered, so C 7 sharp 5 flat 9. But we'll see how we can make it work for a minor chord as well. So let's hear it first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as I said, this lands on a C altered chord, so we have this C sharp note here, which is actually the flat 9, and it sounds great over an altered chord, but over a minor chord, not really. So what we can do is, we can either go back to C, a semitone behind, or go up to D, a semitone up, to make it sound better over a C minor chord, and that would be... sounds nicer over a C minor, or gives it a spicy flavor if you bend up to the D. So let's go to line number 3, the final line of our lesson today, and that's by the trumpet player Lee Morgan on the tune Moaning. That's over a 251 to F minor again, so G half diminished to C dominant to F minor, but it starts on a B flat, so I thought it was a great idea to play the line from 1 bar before to introduce the B flat, the 4 chord, but you can still isolate the 251 if you want. So let's hear this line. As I said in the previous video, in part 1, with the major 251s, there are 4 things we can do. I'm gonna give you a brief overview of what we went through in the previous video. There are a few things that you can do if you want to practice these lines efficiently and master them. or any line actually. The first thing is to analyze the line. So let's use Midnight Blue as an example. The first line, this went, so that's over the F minor chord, 1, flat 3, perfect fourth. So the C sharp is the flat fifth of the half diminished chord, the G half diminished. The A flat is the flat 9 and the G is the root. So if you think of the flat fifth and the root, it gives you the whole idea of your lick. And then lands to the E using some approaches. So the E is the major third of the C7 chord, the 5 chord. And then to the root of the 5 chord. Pentatonic kind of thing going back to the F. So 4, 4, 3. Back to the 3 again. So that's the first thing. The second thing would be to learn the same lick in various different areas of your guitar. So let's say, for instance, you want to learn it here. Yeah, that would be a cool way to play it in a different area. So do this exact thing in various different areas of your guitar. The third thing would be to learn the same lick in different tonalities, going up in fourths, for example. So you play it in F, you play in B flat, you play in E flat, and so on. So in A minor, the lick would be. Yeah, and when you do that, like the different keys sort of thing, try not to transfer the exact same fingerings to another area of your guitar. Try to use different fingerings or limit yourself to one area. So I did it here, and then I did it here. It's like a nearby sort of area. I wouldn't transfer the exact same thing. I mean, that's fine, but it makes the whole process kind of iconic and robotic. You don't really think about the notes when you do that. And then the fourth thing is to use the lick in your improvisation when you practice. I hope you found this video useful or it helped you in some way. If you did, then you can subscribe to my channel. You can hit the like button. You can share if you want. And if you have any questions or if you want to show me what you've done with your improvisation and your lines and everything, you can drop me a comment in the comment section below. And stay tuned, because next lesson is actually going to be in funk guitar, and more specifically in rhythmic 16th note kind of playing. So till next time, stay tuned and take care.